Hi there, this is Dr. Tammy Stewart here in Yelm, Washington from PT2 Excel to talk to you about massage guns. So first and foremost, massage guns are popping up everywhere. I'm seeing them on Facebook ads and YouTube and in locker rooms and on the sidelines and everything. So they're really great. I love them. But they're not all created equal. And to some extent, you get kind of what you pay for. So if you're paying under $100 for a massage gun, it's probably not going to last you very long, and it's probably not as powerful as some of the more expensive versions. Now, that being said, the knockoffs are getting better and better. But your name brands are your Hypervolt, Theragun, Kraft Gun. There are some others, but those are kind of the big three, and more coming out all the time. So at the time of this recording, those are your big three. You really can't go wrong with them. But there's high-end versions that are designed for like your really high-level athletes, your guys whose muscles have muscles. Most of us are not those people, so you don't really need to spend like $300, $400, $500 on a good quality massage gun unless you really want it to pack a real deep punch. So this model happens to be the Kraft Gun, but they all work really the same. The buttons are just slightly different. So this one has 3 settings. I actually mostly just use the first setting because the higher the speed does not really mean the deeper it goes. The higher the speed just means the faster it goes. So for this gun in particular, but kind of across the board, the higher it goes, actually the less deep it goes, but you can just play around with what's more comfortable for your body. Now, they all come with different heads. So this guy, round rubber head, some of them are foam, some of them are plastic, some of them are rubber. I really like the rubber because it's really bouncy. And they go in, just push it in till it clicks kind of situation. Okay, so the roundness, notice that it kind of comes, it's not a point, but we call that a convexity. So when you're contacting, it's not curving with the body. So you're going to get a sharper contact in the middle than you are on the edges. Now, that matters because depending on how intense you want to be about it, you may choose a flatter head. So we've got the round head here and the more flat head here. Now notice when I put this on, we talked about that. It's not a point, but it's that convexity. You're going to get a higher intensity at the top of that ball. Whereas this being flatter, you've got that force spread over that entire surface. So it's going to be a little less intense, a little less pointed. But let's say you want something really intense and you want to get in there super deep, or you're going after a small area. This guy is going to be your guy, or something similar. So let's say, I'm coming right to that point. That's awfully pointed. It's going to get in there really deep. There's also a head like this. So that kind of spreads the force out. They all feel a little bit different. You can play around with what feels the best for you on that body part. Now, there are lots of other head shapes that come with different massage guns. None of them are bad. You can just play around and see what feels right for you in the area that you're treating, because it may be different on a leg than an arm, for instance, or on your chest versus your back. So I'm just going to snap in the ball one for demonstration purposes. So some guns are louder than others. Doesn't really matter, just kind of do you put earplugs in or not. So when I turn this on, it's a matter of just sliding this button up. Again, some guns are more like a button situation. You can choose your level. So there is some noise to this, but it's not terribly loud. And notice it moves really fast in and out. So when I apply it to my tissue, it has that kind of trampoline-like effect for the tissue. It kind of boing and boings it. It's a clinical term. So you can move it up and down the tissue. I really like to use the massage gun with movement. So let's say I was feeling really tight in my thigh and my quad muscles here. I would put it on, just keeping my legs still for a bit. And then when I feel like, okay, like my muscles are starting to get used to this, moving it all around, then I'm going to straighten my knee and bend my knee, and straighten my knee and bend my knee while I'm using the massage gun. Because what that does is it shortens your muscle tissue and it lengthens your muscle tissue. So you're getting better treatment to the tissue while it's in all of those positions. So it's a more functional treatment, and it's going to help your tissues function best in that lengthened position and shortened position, which is really what you need your muscle tissues to do anyway. So it makes it a bit more functional for you. So let's say I wanted to use this in a different spot. Let's say I wanted to use it on my calf. So I would just, if you have this range of motion, if your hip will allow you to put your ankle up onto your other knee, great. So you can see that's my position there. I can also move up and down with my foot while I'm doing this. Let's say that's a no-go position for me, but I can do like this kind of position. Then you can come underneath, same deal, and you can go up and down with the toes here. So you can get as creative as you want with your positioning. Let's say I want to treat my hip, for instance. So I can do it in a seated position to get right in the hip crease. Make sure that you're not doing this on bones. So there's that bone that sticks out right there. You don't really want to massage bones. They do not relax. They just get cranky and kind of bruised because you end up just pinching the skin between your bone and the massage gun head. That's no good for anybody, so stay away from bones. It will not feel good if you accidentally get one. So let's say I want to get, the front of my hip. Well, maybe I kind of bring my hip up, bring it down. Let's say I want to get around the side of my hip or the back of my hip into my buttocks. You can do that sitting, or you can do it standing. So I'm going around my hip. I can do kind of an up and down with the hip. I can leave it up and swing it inwards and outwards. This is one of my personal favorites when my hips get tight after workouts, especially a squat heavy workout. I really like using the massage gun around my hips because that's where I tend to get a little tight after a nice workout. So there's that. So that's generally how I use a massage gun. There are lots of kind of variations. They're all shaped a little bit differently, but they all work the same. So if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to ask them below or shoot us a text or an email. We'd love to hear from you. Like, subscribe, check out our other videos on YouTube. We've got lots of tips and tricks out there, and we'd love to help you. If you've got something going on that you feel like you need some professional guidance, professional help, our physical therapy staff is here to do just that. So give us a call. We'd love to hear from you and hope you've enjoyed this video.